anymore.
12 joke songs that accidentally saved careers. Sometimes the music industry's biggest success stories came from songs nobody took seriously. Artists on the edge of obscurity recorded throwaway tracks meant for laughs. Then radio made them superstars. Here are 12 joke songs that accidentally saved careers. Number 12, Chuck Berry.
Mother told you someday you're gonna be a big man. You'll be the leader of a big old band.
The father of rock and roll revolutionized music in the 1950s with Johnny B. Goode, Roll Over Beethoven, and Maybelline. Those songs sold millions and defined the genre. But by 1972, Berry hadn't cracked the top 40 in years. His label considered dropping him. Concert venues got smaller. Then came My Ding-a-Ling.
Sure was hard swimming across that thing with both hands holding my thing.
A juvenile double entendre novelty song recorded live in Coventry, England during February 1972. Chess Records released it as a single that October. The song hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, staying there for 2 weeks and selling over 2 million copies. It became Berry's only chart-topping single despite his legendary catalog.
She'd be the queen, I'd be the king, and I'd let her play with my ding-a-ling.
The joke song gave him late career relevance, leading to better concert bookings and renewed record deals.
You to play with my, oh my, oh my.
Critics hated it, calling it beneath his talent. Berry didn't care, banking the royalty checks while laughing all the way to sold-out shows for another 2 decades.
It was hard swimming across that thing with both hands holding my ding-a-ling.
Number 11, Ray Stevens.
Mama had only known even the half of what went on. She'd cut a switch off of a hickory.
The Georgia-born musician had moderate success in the 1960s with Everything is Beautiful, reaching '1 in 1970. But follow-up singles flopped. By 1974, his label Mercury Records was losing interest. Stevens needed something big. The streaking craze swept America that year, with people running naked through public spaces as pranks. Stevens wrote The Streak in one afternoon, recording it as a throwaway comedy track.
His physique. If there's an audience to be found.
Released in March 1974, it exploded. The song hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and reached #1 in the UK, selling millions of copies worldwide.
Yes, they call him the Streak.
Oh, yes, they call him the Streak.
Likes to show off his physique.
It became the second best-selling single of 1974 in America. The novelty hit revitalized Stevens' career completely, establishing him as the king of comedy music. He followed with more humorous songs, including the Mississippi Squirrel Revival and It's Me Again, Margaret. The Streak's success let him record comedy albums for 3 more decades, earning multiple Grammy nominations and wins.
My way, and 1,000 violins began to play.
Number 10, Tiny Tim. Born Herbert Carey in 1932, he spent decades performing in Greenwich Village freak shows and dive bars for spare change. His falsetto voice and ukulele act was considered too bizarre for mainstream success. By his mid-30s, he was essentially homeless, sleeping in bathrooms and scraping by on handouts. His December 1967 appearance on The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson, changed everything. His trembling falsetto cover of Tiptoe Through the Tulips became a cultural phenomenon.
In the garden, in the moonlight, you
Reprise Records signed him immediately. The single reached number 17 on the Billboard Hot 100 and sold over 200,000 copies. His debut album, God Bless Tiny Tim, went gold.
Oh, tiptoe through the window, by the window.
The novelty song made him a bizarre celebrity, leading to his televised wedding on The Tonight Show in December 1969, which drew approximately 40 million viewers, one of the most watched episodes in the show's history. Without that joke song, Carey would have died in obscurity instead of becoming one of music's most memorable oddities. He toured on that one hit for 38 more years until his death in 1996. Before we continue, which of these stories surprised you most? Ever wonder how one silly song could change everything? Drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. Number 9. The Irish Rovers. The Irish folk group formed in 1963, performing traditional Celtic music in Toronto bars and small venues. They recorded several albums for Decca Records through the mid-60s, but sales were disappointing. By 1967, the label considered dropping them. The band faced potential breakup. Songwriter Shel Silverstein offered them The Unicorn, a whimsical children's song about Noah's Ark and mythical creatures.
Seen some sinning, and it gave him pain, and he says, stand back, I'm going to make it rain.
The Rovers thought it was ridiculous, but recorded it anyway in early 1968. Released that March, the song became a massive international hit. It reached number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 5 in Canada, selling millions of copies worldwide and becoming one of the biggest folk pop crossover hits of the era. The novelty folk song completely transformed their career, leading to their own television variety show on CBC that ran from 1971 to 1974.
You can be the rhyme and the reason for all things.
They recorded 23 more albums over 5 decades, but The Unicorn remained their signature song, requested at every concert. That children's joke song saved them from obscurity and built a 50-year career.
Some rats and elephants, as sure as you're born, the loveliest of all was the unicorn.
Number 8. Rupert Holmes. The British-born songwriter spent the 1970s writing for other artists and recording unsuccessful solo albums. His 5 previous albums for Epic and Private Stock Records all flopped commercially. By 1979, he was deeply in debt and considering quitting music entirely to write plays.
Into the same old dull routine, so I wrote to the paper.
He wrote Escape, later known as the Pina Colada song, as a tongue-in-cheek story about relationship boredom and personal ads. Infinity Records released it in September 1979. The humorous narrative song struck a chord with audiences tired of disco.
Into yoga, if you have half a brain.
It hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in late December 1979 and stayed there for 2 weeks, becoming the last number 1 single of the 1970s and the first of the 1980s. The album Partners in Crime went platinum.
You like making love at midnight in the dunes of the Cape.
The novelty hit's success led him transition into musical theater, where he wrote The Mystery of Edwin Drood, winning 5 Tony Awards in 1986, including Best Musical. That joke song about pineapple cocktails saved his entire artistic career.
You're the love that I've looked for. Come with me and escape.
Number 7. Jeannie C. Riley.
Has got you heavy laden till you can't even feel the need to try.
The Texas-born singer moved to Nashville in 1966 with dreams of country stardom. She worked as a secretary at Passkey Music while singing demo tapes for songwriters. Multiple labels rejected her recordings. By 1968, she was a struggling single mother nearly broke.
Live in a house about a mile down the road from Mama.
Songwriter Tom T. Hall gave her Harper Valley PTA, a satirical story song mocking small-town hypocrisy. Producer Shelby Singleton recorded it in one take on June 17, 1968. Plantation Records released it that August. The novelty narrative became a cultural phenomenon, hitting number 1 on both the Billboard Hot 100 and the Hot Country Singles chart simultaneously. It sold over 6 million copies worldwide, becoming the best-selling country single by a female artist at that time.
Mr.
Riley won the Grammy for Best Female Country Vocal Performance. A joke song about PTA, scandals made her an overnight star, leading to a television movie, a 1981 sitcom based on the song, and a 40-year touring career. Without that satirical novelty hit, she would have remained an unknown secretary.
This is just a little Peyton place, and you're all hungry, hypocrite.
Number 6. Vicki Lawrence.
I'm your best friend, and you know that's right. But your young bride ain't home tonight since you've been gone.
The California-born actress joined the Carol Burnett Show in 1967 at age 18, becoming famous for playing Mama in comedy sketches. She had zero musical training or aspirations. By 1972, she was strictly a television comedian.
Through the screen at the back porch door, and he saw Andy lying on the floor in a puddle of blood.
Songwriter Bobby Russell wrote "The Night the Lights Went Out" in Georgia for Cher, who rejected it. He offered it to his wife Lawrence as a lark. She recorded it in early 1972, thinking nothing would come of it. Bell Records released it in November 1972. The murder ballad novelty song shocked everyone by hitting #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in March 1973, staying there for 2 weeks and selling over 2 million copies.
He got mad when he saw red, and Andy said, boy, don't you lose your head, 'cause to tell you the truth.
Lawrence was touring nationally before she understood what happened. The joke recording, done just to humor her songwriter husband, launched an unexpected music career alongside her comedy work. She recorded 2 albums and continued performing the song at concerts for decades.
Looked through the screen at the back porch door, and he saw Andy lying on the floor in a puddle of blood.
That accidental hit proved comedians could accidentally become chart-topping musicians. Before we get to the top 5, which artist's story do you remember hearing on the radio? Did any of these songs bring back memories? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
That's a man took a whole innocent man. Who don't touch the phone.
Number 5. Carl Douglas.
Matters of girl who meant so much to me.
The Jamaican-born soul singer moved to London in the 1960s, recording unsuccessful singles for various labels throughout the early 70s. His albums for Pie Records went nowhere. By 1974, he was ready to give up professional music and return to session work. Producer Bidu Apaya needed a B-side for Douglas's single, I Want to Give You My Everything. They knocked out Kung Fu Fighting in 10 minutes, a silly novelty song capitalizing on the martial arts movie craze. Pie Records released it in August 1974.
It's a little bit frightening, but it's all the expert timing.
The throwaway joke song became a global phenomenon. It hit #1 in over 15 countries, including the United States and United Kingdom, selling over 9 million copies worldwide. The single became one of the best-selling singles of all time.
There was funky Chinaman from funky Chinatown. They were chopping.
Douglas won the 1974 Billboard Disco Action Award. That 10-minute novelty recording saved his career completely, leading to successful albums and decades of touring. Kung Fu Fighting remained popular in movies and commercials for 50 years. The ultimate B-side joke became an eternal earworm.
There was funky Chinaman from funky Chinatown. They were chopping them up.
Number 4. Rick Dees. The Memphis radio DJ had zero professional music experience in 1976. He worked at WMPS AM spinning records and doing comedy bits. Music labels had never approached him. He was strictly radio talent. That summer, he recorded Disco Duck as a comedy parody of the disco craze, using a Donald Duck voice over a dance beat. He pressed 500 copies to play on his radio show as a joke. Listeners went crazy requesting it. Fratone Records picked it up for national distribution in September 1976. The novelty song hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in October. Staying there for 1 week and selling over 4 million copies worldwide. The joke recording made Dees a legitimate music figure, leading to his syndicated radio show, The Weekly Top 40, which ran for 32 years.
Party the other night. All the ladies would treat me right.
He also hosted multiple television shows and won 4 Billboard Awards. That duck-voiced parody transformed a local DJ into a media empire, proving novelty records could still generate massive mainstream success in the disco era.
On the dance floor acting strange. Flapping my arms, I begin to cluck.
Number 3, Bobby Boris Pickett. The Massachusetts-born actor spent the early 1960s doing horror movie impressions at Hollywood parties, particularly Boris Karloff's voice. He performed in struggling rock bands that never got recording contracts. By 1962, at age 23, his music career was going nowhere. His band, the Crypt Kickers, needed material.
The monsters, come on in. Boris is going to show you how to monster swim.
Pickett wrote Monster Mash in May 1962, using his Karloff impression over a novelty horror theme. Gary S. Paxton produced it, and Garpax Records released it that August. The Halloween joke song hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in October 1962, selling over 1 million copies.
He got on the chain, backed by his baying hound. The coffin bangers were about to arrive.
London Records reissued it in 1973, and it hit number 10 again, making it one of few songs to chart twice a decade apart. The novelty hit saved Pickett from obscurity, giving him a 50-year career playing oldies shows and Halloween events. He recorded follow-ups, including Monsters Holiday and Monster Rap, but Monster Mash remained eternal.
It's now the Monster Mash, and it's a graveyard smash.
That Boris Karloff impression turned a struggling actor into rock and roll's Halloween king. Before we reveal the top 2, which joke song do you still hear every year? Have these artists influenced how you think about novelty music? Let us know in the comments. Number 2, Sheb Wooley.
Be as the daisies that dance on her way.
The Oklahoma-born character actor worked steadily in Hollywood westerns throughout the 1940s and 50s. He appeared in High Noon and dozens of B-movies, but never became a major star. Music was just a hobby. By 1958, he was a journeyman actor facing an uncertain future. That June, he recorded The Purple People Eater. A ridiculous novelty song about a one-eyed, one-horned flying creature that eats purple people. MGM Records released it immediately. The joke song became the surprise hit of summer 1958, hitting number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for 6 consecutive weeks. It sold over 3 million copies and became the 3rd best-selling single of 1958.
He was blowing it out, really knocking them dead, playing rock and roll music through the horn in his head.
The novelty hit completely changed Wooley's career trajectory. He recorded successful country albums throughout the 60s under his real name and his alter ego Ben. Colder, releasing comedy parodies. He landed the role of Pete Nolan on the television series Rawhide, which ran from 1959 to 1965.
They'll go through the mountains to the sea.
That silly song about a purple creature gave him the financial security and industry credibility to build a 40-year dual career in acting and music.
Well, I saw the thing coming out of the sky. It had a one long horn and one big eye.
Number 1, David Seville and the Chipmunks. Born Ross Bagdasarian in 1919, he struggled as a songwriter and actor through the 1940s. By 1958, he was deeply in debt, facing bankruptcy. His cousin William Saroyan loaned him money to avoid losing his house. Desperate for any income, he experimented with speeding up vocal recordings. He created Witch Doctor in early 1958, using sped-up vocals for a novelty effect.
I'll admit I wasn't very smart, so I went out and found myself a guy that's so much like.
Liberty Records released it in April. The joke song hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, selling over 1.5 million copies. Bagdasarian immediately created the Chipmunk song. Christmas Don't Be Late for the Holiday season. Using 3 sped-up voices, he named Alvin, Simon, and Theodore after Liberty Records executives. Released in November 1958, it became a massive phenomenon, hitting #1 and selling over 4 million copies in its initial release. It won 3 Grammy Awards, including Best Comedy Performance and Best Children's Recording. Those novelty songs saved Bagdasarian from financial ruin and created a multi-billion-dollar franchise including television series, feature films, and merchandise that continues 65 years later.
Very good, boys. No, that's enough. Let's not overdo it. Now, wait.
The Chipmunks became more culturally significant than any serious music could have achieved. That desperate joke saved his life and built an entertainment empire.